All right, today we're going to try and decode one of the most influential and, let's be honest, chaotic platforms out there, X. You know, the platform most of us probably still call Twitter in our heads.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll dive into that whole 280-character universe. Then we'll get into the language of the feed itself. After that, we'll look at how it's used for everything from breaking news to professional networking. We'll also talk about its power and its pitfalls. And finally, we'll wrap up with a really cool real-world example. Sound good? Let's jump in.
So that brings us to the big question, right? What is X really? Is it this amazing global public square where ideas are exchanged? Or is it just a whole lot of noise? Well, to get to the bottom of that, we've got to start with the absolute fundamentals.
Okay, first section, the 280-character universe. Let's break down what X is at its absolute core.
You know, at its most basic level, X is what you'd call a micro-blogging platform. But I think a better way to think about it is like, it's the real-time pulse of the planet. It's where stuff happens as it's happening, all built around these super short, mostly text-based messages.
And the heart of it all? It's the tweet. Yeah, it's just a tiny post, capped at 280 characters. Sounds pretty restrictive, right? But the real magic is what you can cram into that tiny space. You've got text, sure, but you can also throw in images, videos, links, and of course, the two symbols that basically reinvented how we talk online, the hashtag and the @ symbol.
And check this out. This is a perfect example of how much you can do in one little tweet. You've got a strong opinion on a really important business challenge in Nigeria. It's got the hashtag energy crisis, so anyone interested in that topic can find it. And just like that, boom, a conversation starts. Okay, so we know what a tweet is, but how does it all work? Let's get into the language of the feed, the mechanics of how all these little messages turn into those huge, sprawling conversations the platform is famous for.
All right, the retweet, or repost as it's called now. This is basically the engine of the whole platform. It's the main way ideas and information catch fire and spread. You see something you agree with or something you think is important, and you can blast it out to all of your followers. But, and this is a big but, there's a really important difference in how you can share.
And this is where it gets really interesting. A standard retweet is just you hitting a megaphone button. You're amplifying someone else's message, as is. But a quote tweet, oh, that's a whole different ballgame. That's you stepping into the conversation and adding your own 2 cents. You can agree, you can disagree, you can add a piece of info they missed. It seems like a small thing, but it completely changes the dynamic. So, if tweets are the building blocks, these are the tools you use to build with them. Think of them as the verbs of X. Hashtags let you sort tweets into different topic buckets. Mentions are like tapping someone on the shoulder to get their attention. Likes are a quick nod of approval. And replies, that's where the real back and forth happens, turning one tweet into a whole conversation thread. Okay, so we've got the what and the how down, but the big question is, why does any of this even matter? From news to networking, what's the real-world impact here? Well, it matters because these super simple tools are used for an incredible range of things. I mean, it's a place for breaking news and real-time updates. It's a hub for professional networking. It's a stage for public opinion and activism. And yeah, it's also where memes are born and things go viral. It's all of that, all happening at once. The platform's biggest superpower is, without a doubt, its speed. I mean, it's often the very first place news breaks. We're talking election results, natural disasters. Stuff gets posted there by eyewitnesses and journalists instantly, way before it ever hits a traditional news website. And it's not just for big global news. It's also this massive collection of niche, professional communities. You see a tweet like this one about AWS, using hashtags like hashtag cloud computing and hashtag tech Twitter. This is how people in specific industries connect, share what they know, and sometimes even find their next job. But of course, it's not all positive. With this kind of power and influence, well, there's always a flip side. Let's get into a more balanced view of the power and the pitfalls. And this really lays it out clearly. It's a double-edged sword. That same speed that's amazing for sharing information, it's also perfect for spreading misinformation. Those incredible networking opportunities, they can quickly turn into heated, toxic arguments. For every big advantage, there's a pretty serious limitation to consider.
So, let's put all these pieces together and look at a real-world example. How can all these little features actually lead to something big for someone?
Okay, so follow this. Step 1. A developer in Nigeria tweets about a new skill they're learning, and they use the hashtag DevOps hashtag.
Then, step 2, people start to engage, they reply, ask questions, and some influential accounts even retweet it. That leads to step 3, amplification. The tweet starts trending within that hashtag tech Twitter community. And the result? The developer gets a ton of new followers and even gets job offers. That's the whole system, right there, working perfectly.
So think about it. A single message, just 280 characters, can literally change a person's career or even spark an entire movement. It makes you realize that behind every trend and every big conversation is just a simple message. And the really cool part is, those tools are available to you right now.